That's how he's had to practice, and that's why he's one of the best. Sorry, let me read. That's why he is the best.
Let's see the
Sorry, Twitch chat.
in action. Here we go. Rapha versus Nosfa. It's underway. It's kicked off now, and it is already a bloodbath. Damage being traded between both of them. Rapha already knocked down fairly low, though, as the railgun will start to at least chip him down ever so slightly. Ooh. That could have actually been the opening pick there, honestly.
Yeah, Nosfa's rails are really scary. If his rail is on, that's how he gets himself into this game. He's now taking a very late heavy that could well have been just the second rotation. Rapha is trying to just find any kind of armor, finds the one light, and is going to make his way across maybe to Catwalk, because there's another. So fast across the map from Nosfa.
Yeah, the movement is very graceful, elegant, like a fox as he bounds his way around. Looks to try and get the opening pick as the damage will be done. That's a beautiful rail to actually connect on. Rapha fairly low at this point. He wanted to follow it up with a lightning gun, but he couldn't quite get close enough. And now he's just going to bide his time to rebuild the stack, but that's the rail we didn't expect.
Fantastic, opportunistic play there from Nosfa. The re just played into his hands completely. He's running short on rails now. His control is equal to that of Rapha, but it's that weapon advantage. These angles to go for are extremely tricky.
Oh, it's so hard. You can see Rapha attempting to get the shots up there, but the only thing he's receiving is damage as a gift from Nosfa. Straight back into him. Another rail coming through. This could be beautiful if he can carry on here.
Problem is he's now out of rail ammunition. So he needs to kind of settle himself down a little bit. He might try and put some aggression onto the heavy. This is nice pressure from him, but now you kind of ditch this, you go back, play it safe. This kind of movement error is a big problem for him. He's got to get out of here. Rapha's going to be able to take some full control from that one burst movement. Now his chances to get the Mega are totally ruined. Oh, tasty rocket. That actually slows down Rapha a little. He's going to find the rail regardless, and there is going to be piercing sight up in 2 seconds time. This is super, super difficult for Nosfa. He just heard that.
Oh, the fact that he's actually even able to stay alive there for so long as well on 10 HP is just ridiculous. We're 2 minutes in, both of them now having a frag apiece as they are split evenly. Wow. But this is the Rapha we want to see, right? He starts to get fired up. You can see it so deadly precise as he's just incredibly accurate here with a full frontal onslaught coming out as he starts to try and chip away and strip that armor off of Nosfa.
Surprised how much Rapha struggled to hit him there with the heavy machine gun. Very, very surprising. Nosfa is behind on stack still. He's trying to construct those opportunities. He really wants the railgun. That rail is just the holy grail for him. Suddenly, that truckload of rocket damage is going to open up the weapon for him. But he needs to open up with 1 or 2 rails without Rapha responding.
As well, you can see with the playstyle from Rapha is the fact that he is ready from any attack. It's always with the preset fire that comes through. Nosfa knocked down fairly low, nearly knocked off his high horse that he hopes to try and roam with into this one as Rapha backpedaling but prepared, precise and accurate with the connections that he's landing here.
God. So close right there. Good rail from Nosfa. He knows that the piercing sight is up. He's just trying to get out of there with 1 point of health. He finds the 25 and he's going to be able to escape. Silver lining is that piercing sight is down, but Rapha he's been in such good shape and he doesn't look like he's giving up the control anytime soon. Nosfa found on the ground floor but does 200 damage and the rail! How does he turn that around?
That is absolutely wild. Just confidence on this man right now. The big kahunas to go for a play like that, but it does definitely pay off, and he's able to start to rebuild that stack back up as well. Also, adding towards that ult to try and get his ability back up to play with. The rocket's going to be coming back through. That's another rail connection on towards Rapha to try and soften him up. You can see the confidence to go for the full extension out, but he still realizes he has to play this one safe. He can't overcommit to these firefights.
Yeah, hopefully for him, he's got the timing bang on. That's a great jump from Rapha. That's fantastic movement. Going to be found once again, but the rocket's perfect. This time from the American. Heavy's up soon. No, jump. He suddenly makes a jump. It goes right into Rapha's lightning gun, and Rapha re-equalizes the game. This game is actually already closer than I was expecting it. Nosfa's putting up a fight, and from here on out, it doesn't matter what happens. We've had a brilliant first 5 minutes of Blood Covenant.
Yeah, if it carries on in this fashion, this is definitely going to be a game to remember. It's the series we wanted being given to us, Zoot.
And Nosfa just needs to chill this out again. Piercing Sight's going to come back up, and Rapha's got perfect information. Nosfa knows that he's under pressure a bit. He's just trying to battle these angles. I think that Tri-Bolt was almost full damage. And because he's landed that, now he can actually challenge for this heavy. He's found Rapha on bridge. Rapha's not punishing until there's one rail hits. He's going to back away, get himself some more rail ammo. And Rapha has to be very, very steady. I'm so curious what Nosfa's going to do. He's actually challenging up inside the Mega Room. He hasn't picked up the heavy at all. He's so outstacked. That was too brave. Sometimes you just cut your losses. You go over to the item on your side of the map, and you play a control game.
Yeah, he went far too much of a gamble there, hoping to just play off the back of the confidence. It didn't work out the way he wanted it to, and now he has conceded the equalized scoreline, giving it the one advantage kill there back towards Rapha in a 3-2 scenario. Just teasing him with the potential of a humiliation as he likes to wait, holding the angle, essentially has him completely trapped here. He has to push out. He is going to be able to bypass Rapha and finally push further out into the map, but Rapha, he has the high ground. He knows exactly where the opposition is as well. It's a juicy rocket to start, the follow-up with a cheeky bit of lightning to try and strike him down. Nosfa is repairing his HP, but his armor is busted, and Rapha can now take this time to restock himself.
Surprised Nosfa ended up going up the bounce pad. He didn't even get the ledge jump just perfect. I think he had to use the double jump in the end. Oh, what a rail though, actually. The rocket was great. The rail was even better. Nosfa gets some more, but he's going to get lightning gun down, and now Rapha's starting to build up a bit more of an advantage. 4-2. How is Nosfa going to recover from this? Is he going to recover from this? He needs weapon. He really needs weapons. He needs to not take any damage, which is, well, step 1 complete. Step 2, get the rest of the weapons.
If he can get that arsenal back to full strength again and actually have some fight left in it, maybe he can start to bring this back. The preemptive rockets coming out from Rapha are effective. He's going to have to go for the visor pop as well so he can get straight in there, and he really is going to get straight in there. Rapha now with 3 kills to his lead, looking to try and make it 4 as well, as he is not slowing down, continuously aggressing here with a railgun out, ready to hit him with a rock'em sock'em connection.
Needs more HMG from Nosfa. He's been very loose on his connections. I feel like both of them have been struggling to hit each other with that weapon. And now Nosfa's stepping back a bit. Gonna give Rapha a quick moment to breathe with the heavy. Doesn't really want to though, because he knows he's running around with such a big stack. Piercing sight pressed. Midair will barely miss. And also just trying to defend this angle, but he's so low that rocket will eventually connect.
This is beautiful. Just vintage Rapha on display here as well. Literally in his element right now. The movement is absolutely flawless as well. Sets himself up for a nice little love tap on the way out there to at least do a small amount of damage as the armor swarm will come back in.
The only issues for Nosfa is that this game could be even closer if he just kept that aggressive play under wraps a little bit. You don't need to deliver it 100% of the time. You turn that down to 80% and the rest of it just focus on that control element. Because he's got no problems with timing, it's just his decision to whether or not he goes for the item. He just needs to hold himself back a tiny bit, and again he elevates that level a little more. Because when he does make those mistakes, Rapha, if anyone's going to punish mistakes, it's going to be Rapha.
Well, that's the thing. You have to try and find that calculated balance between when you want to go for a play that is going to be positive, right? It's when it's like, all right, this is an 80% gamble that it's actually going to pay off. You have to make a calculated decision. Right now, though, the calculation is going to be who can actually survive this one, as both of them delve back into the fight. The spam coming through. Rapha realizing it's not worth the over-aggression. He has the lead in this scenario. If he backs off, doesn't waste the potential chance of losing another frag here, he can get out and stay alive with a large lead.
Oh, he actually drops down into... He's going to get punched down, quite possibly. He's running towards him, and we get the berserk kill. We've not had one of those yet. He's going to find it. One rail, another rail. Oh, the machine gun to take him down. If that rail hits, then there's 3 frags of difference. It probably wouldn't be possible anyway, because it's just so low on life, but, you know, you like to think what if sometimes. I do, at least.
I mean,
you guys.
kind of have
like
to, right? especially at this point, we have to just gamble and see how it could have gone. It's all worth the theory crafting, but what is definitely happening right now is what's occurring in practice, and that is that Rapha is just playing confident as ever. He realizes, though, that time is up. It's over. He's going to take it as a victory, so he just tries to delve out of there and not concede an extra frag for no reason, as that will be a 7-3 scoreline. Rapha walking away with the first map, setting the precedent that we expected to see.
No, really, really nice game between the two of them. As you can see on here, the control of items goes way into the side of Rapha. It's good to see that Nosfa is actually playing good out of control game and doing more damage than him, but that opportunity when he left that heavy up and went over aggressive, that was the moment the game started going wrong for him, and that he just overcooked it a little bit. If he gets that item, then who knows what kind of strings of control he can get afterwards. That opening kill, though, was a thing of beauty. Yeah.
Like, the actual shots that we saw being connected from Nosfa were really, really lovely. Like, in terms of delivery, just excellence was there. It was very, very nice in terms of the overall finesse that he had. But it's just the fact, as soon as Rapha got into his element, he was just going full Rapha. And how do you beat that? Like, literally, how do you beat that?
I mean, the thing about Nosfa's mechanical skill, it's there. It's it's world class. It's just then the hard bit comes out, right? It's the thought behind the game and the decisions that are going to maximize your chances to like abuse your mechanical skill. And
oh, we get the POV of this.
I mean, there were so many good frags, but then you see the punch frag, you're like, yeah, that's still the best one. It's like, it's just a berserk frag. You just don't see it often enough. It was like the perforation one that we had earlier with Kilson on Cooler. Yeah. Beautiful. On Blood Covenant as well. It's magic.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, I want to look through the maps again. We have got Vale coming up next. I was slightly concerned about what's going to happen here. It's Ranger versus Sorlag. Again, I'm a big fan of the Ranger of Nosfa, but Sorlag on Vale with Rapha, this is his best map. This is going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be way worse, obviously, for Nosfa in terms of like just being able to get into it and kind of having it set up as like a fairly equal playing field. It's kind of not there, right? It's a little bit way more skew-if in terms of just favoring Rapha. It's also the fact that we can see like he's woke as hell. He's still absolutely giving it. You know, there's no signs of him slowing down. He's literally straight into it and just living the dream that he always lives. So it's going to be hard for Nosfa to actually start to cause a bit of an upset. Although, if we look at it for what it was and kind of exclude the overall scoreline, it was very close. In terms of the actual fights, it was definitely closer than it looked.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the only thing I look at here is that, you know what, Sib beat the Hang on Vale. Is this something that can happen between? It's two totally different players, right? But it's still that kind of scenario where we see a close first game, and who knows what's in the water there. But I still expect Rapha to start kind of walking away with it a little more and more steadily. And then if we get over to Awoken, then there's the possibility for Nosfa again there, because I've just seen some amazing things from him on that map, and I know he's going to be fighting tooth and nail for as many points as he can get. And it's not even just him getting points, it's how many points can he deny Rapha.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Map 2 is loaded up and we are ready to go as we're going to carry on here between our David and Goliath matchup. Rapha already being spammed down to open this one up though, as he's losing an awful lot of armor. It stripped him down, although the response could be strong, trying to go for the tactical Vom as well.
Holy
and that
crap.
is Nosfa absolutely annihilated.
I like the thinking behind Nosfa did. He wanted to go aggressive. He was doing a lot of damage with machine guns and shotgun, but I think he got to the top and was like, this range really sucks me. Rapha's hurting. Can I call home yet?
Yeah, it was not the best fight for him to go for, but it was a gamble that he was hoping would pay off, although it's very early game as well, so it doesn't matter too much, because you do have the potential to quickly make up for those mistakes with the extra amount of time you've left yourself to play with.
Now Rapha's got himself onto rail. He's kind of low on the other weaponry. He'll definitely need to think about picking that up again. And he's very conscious of the possibility of Nosfa there. Somehow managed to find himself a rocket to rail combo. And if he hadn't missed that heavy, he'd be punishing even harder on this mega health.
Trying to play with the range advantage right now that he actually does have, although the shots are coming back in. Rapha biding his time, going for the slower style of play. That's a nice rocket that actually does connect as well to do a little bit more damage.
Nosfa can get a position for heavy at the moment, maybe he's top side of the map, I think that's going to suit him a lot. To try and deal some damage. But it looks like Rapha wants to go for the direct chase, which makes things awkward. However, Nosfa tracks him down and is going to be winning the major item. That comes as a bit of a surprise. He orbed back up to the top. Acid out, Nosfa's just chasing him down at the moment. Lightning gun not looking too bad, but the chase is too much. He knows that Nosfa gets excited about these things and he is using it to punish him.
He understands how to counter it so easily, and now he's starting to get onto a bit of a Rapha rampage as well. That's 2 rapid kills in very fast succession. Can he try and add a third onto that and keep it moving as he holds out? Going for the slow game right now. He's able to reassist, get his armor back up so he's into a healthy position to try and fight this one out. The lightning gun will get a sliver of damage transferred across.
Yeah, back to basics here for Rapha. No clever work. Oh, see a pixel, shoot a pixel. Nosfa's already run across. I wonder how he can challenge on this part. The acid does land a bit. Oh, but just tries to get up in his face. Nosfa still has a stack that rivals that of Rapha. I think there was a light armor in each side. Oh, he switches away from the rocket and maybe the inopportune time. Nosfa goes down. This is a little bit dangerous. Nosfa is just walking around the acid too. LG on LG. That was almost very Rapha. He managed to retain his lead, but he could be vulnerable because this heavy should go to Nosfa. He should be getting on rockets or possibly LG. I can see him get a full rotation of items here. And as long as he's sharing those rails with Rapha, then his control will be cemented.
This is a crazy different position to be in here. Ooh, very nice execution as well there. You can see the confidence definitely into his overall acceptance into his movement. Nice use of the ability to try and get the damage off, as he will be able to deny the area of effect as well. Rapha still just gracefully making his move around the map here. Essentially, the more time he wastes as well, the better, as he already has a 4-kill lead. It's going to be hard for Nosfa really to do too much at all here at the moment too. The
problem for Nosfa is that first he's got to get the kill, and then he's got to make sure it's totally clean, because otherwise he loses control off of Rapha's respawn. So he needs to open up the damage and then just go nuts, and he's kind of lucky there not to have gotten Rel, because Rapha's crosshair was basically there. He just had an uncharacteristic jitter.
The prediction will still at least get some damage through, as he's able to try and burn his way into Nosfa. Luckily enough, though, he can grab that fresh armor and get himself back alive and kicking.
It's this weird, like, rocket jumps into fast orbs that are making it difficult to predict Nosfa. You can see how Rapha's set up for it, the acid spit going over to the teleporter exit. Nosfa's like, no, I'm going to try this instead. That's why his Ranger is really, really scary to deal with, and Rapha's giving a lot of respect at the moment.
Fighting him up on the top shelf as he wants to try and take him down. The high ground advantage will definitely be in favor of Nosfa at this point, but here comes the close combat action. The spit gonna come through, and Nosfa finally gets a kill on the board.
I mean, he fought tooth and nail for that one. That was tricky. Almost gets mid-air. Can't go through go up the bounce pad. And he's actually got to get out of there a little bit. That is some nasty damage. Rapha! And the orb just gets used. That's actually horrific news for Nosfa. Let's have a look at his spawn. He gets rockets. He won't get heavy. Rapha's going to get super stacked. And game's going to get tricky. The rail,
everything he needs now.
Rail misses too, which makes things even worse. Like, if you look at the health bars below the character portraits, it's, F's in chat for Nosfa.
Rapha now taking it a little bit slower. We're over that 5-minute mark as well. We've got 4 minutes left here into our second map. Finally damage coming out. This is actually way better. He's nearly completely burnt through Rapha. Rapha has basically 5 HP to stay alive with, and Nosfa will end his reign of terror.
This is difficult though. Right off the spawn you can see how strong Rapha is immediately. Nosfa wants to make sure he can get the health bubbles, but he needed a rocket. He needed to slow down the movement or something, because right now this 4-frag difference pretty much is the stalemate between the two players. I'm going to get Mega for Nosfa, but, what's he got to follow up? He's got 1 rail. He needs so much more than that. Oh, what a rocket through the grates.
Oh. Close miss there on the rail. That definitely would have been one to remember. Rapha, though, he's still got the commanding lead. In reality, it doesn't matter too much if he just plays it safe at this point.
Just painting the walls.
A bit of spring cleaning.
Ooh. Wow, he actually got the rail afterwards. Oh, he rocketed himself. Fortunately for him, he's got stack to work with, but he jumps down onto LG. I've seen this happen before. Also found something. Rail for rail yet again. Nosfa still has a couple of small resources to work with. He's coming in though. Rocket jump! Oh, but it's into the rail! He plays it risky. And Rapha's coming to expect these tricks from him. And there's the double. Nosfa drops again, and now this looks like it's going to be map secure for Rapha.
Yeah, surely at this point it's completely over. You've got to accept that he is really just going to be walking away with this one here. Having himself a 2-0, potentially the 3-0 if he can keep up this level of sheer dominance as he's looking so accurate. The predictions are really effective. Nosfa trying his best, but he can't overthrow the old god that is Rapha. Oh, the damage on that. Oh, it's actually going to go down though. He's going to be able to split great his way straight through him.
Finds him off the spawn. Rapha has time to land another rail. He's going to miss it though. 4 frags in 2 minutes. He's just not got enough stack. That's just a big problem for him. The light, he's got time in the lights as well. That's a really good job from Nosfa actually. Rocket jump up. He'll find him again, but it's a perfect initiation rocket. The follow-ups there. I mean, I'm loving the style from Nosfa. He's showing how much courage he has, and he's showing like great expression with his gameplay, but it's just a solid play. This guy with an encyclopedic amount of knowledge about strategy in the game and counters to counters, and it's, you know, it comes in buckets, and there's no way we could have expected it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, they've given us the best they can at this point, right? Nosfa's been able to provide a couple of frags that have been really quite effective stuff. It's just, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Luckily enough, though, the Shotgun Shogun will at least get one more, as he is going to be able to rip his way through Rapha one more time, it seems, potentially here, as we're getting close to this one being wrapped up, as we have 45 seconds left, and there is a 5 frag lead for Rapha. You physically can't.
Just needs to chase there. He's going to find a way to chase. Lightning Gun's going to hurt a lot, and he has to hope he can hit enough. That's not going to be it. You just want to get close on the frags now, and make it as close as possible. And, you know, and by the way, at the moment, the level that Nosfa is displaying is, when you put it into the sort of big picture in terms of what the level is around the world, this is seriously high. And from a continent which, you know, has struggled way more historically than, say, the North Americans, when you have that skill discrepancy, he's the one true shining star for that continent.
Yeah,
and he's managing to be competitive versus Rapha.
He's looking incredible here, but of course the main man himself will be the one that walks away as the victor in that second map in the series. It's now 2-0 out of the 3 maps we are going to be serving up tonight for Rapha.
Rapha is copying my color scheme, by the way, on Solar, just saying.
Oh yeah?
Just saying. He's clearly been inspired.
I think
That's
so.
all I can say.
I would be.
Yeah.
I'll add some citruses to that bad boy.
Yeah, citrus skin, please, thank you.
That's coming in soon.
That's what we need now.
It's on the way.
The official Jackie cosmetic in Quake Champions.
Hopefully so.
To be seen.
But I'll tell you what was very beautiful as a cosmetic. Everything that was being delivered by Rapha into that affair. Incredibly accurate, incredibly high octane, and just dominant as ever. Nosfa had a few tasty shots thrown into the mix here and there, but in terms of the sheer quantity, it was Rapha that had the edge.
And now we get over to Awoken next, which is... It's a place where I've seen some amazing stuff from Nosfa, but he's going against Rapha and he's going against his Anarchy. In terms of the Anarchies that we will have seen today, this is, I think, going to be the best one we'll have seen. We saw a good performance from Tox, we saw from Cooler, and I think Rapha's really going to show us, you know, the full intelligence that you can have with that champion, and also the sort of mechanical ability that you can have with the movement too.
Yeah. Well, that will be our third and final map of the series here as well. And our final map actually for this week. It's gone quick.
It has, man. We only just started, I thought.
It feels like it.
Time flies when you're having fun, but
It really does.
and I'm curious. Hopefully after we're going to be able to get some leaderboards, and we might even get an interview too. But that is to be assessed. We're not there just yet. And then I don't know if we can start kind of theorizing about the type of matchups we'll have. The matchups available to us next week. But I've also just got it in my ear that we will get, because we know that he's won the series now because he's won the first 2 maps, and we are going to speak to Rapha after this next map is done. We're just trying to see now if Rapha's going to be getting 8 points, or if Nosfa's going to put a dent in that, allow him to only have 4, and just take 2 for himself, which is still really valuable. As I said before, not just for Nosfa himself, but for the rest of the players in the Americas region, and also for his own chances to catch up with him later on.
Yeah, it's true. So hopefully that'll actually provide us with some interesting insight there, obviously into the mind of Rapha, literally a living legend. So we'll see how that goes. For Nosfa, though, this really is your last chance to potentially deny the additional points that will go through to Rapha off the back of the series that he's in, or just to show that he can take a map. Although, from what we've seen, it feels like Rapha at this point, you know, he's full Super Saiyan. He's just going to walk his way out. But let's have a look. We're getting into it. The final game of week 2 here at the Quake Pro League.
I think everyone does GBHF now in the Americas.
Yeah?
Yeah, Rapha's infected them. It's God bless, have fun.
Incredible.
Yeah, right. We do have Nosfa off to start for us. He is on Eisen. And he's being chased down at the moment. The LG defense isn't too bad, but it's just the rockets, the speed, and everything that we've got. Rapha is going to lock down that first blood.
The turret being a bit of a nuisance, but it won't survive very long. Nosfa straight in there. He's burning his way through. He did so much damage, but it's just as the Mega comes back up. So all of that is quickly scrubbed out from history. Rapha as well, with a speed benefit to play with, as he is a bit of a demon, bouncing his way around, gets up close and personal and looks to try and get another kill.
He's going to find him in a second. Nosfa looking for a cheeky entry rocket into that fight. He has the light armor, but he can't swing on over it. Even denying that light armor would actually be quite notable, but we're already seeing that momentum being picked up. And Rapha's not playing this slowly either.
He doesn't need to, based off of what we've already seen in these 2 previous matchups. He's definitely on a whole nother level right now when it comes down to it, and the movement is just sheer excellence as well.
I think a lot of people, well, I might theorize on that a little later, see if they disengage. A lot of people think you just move with left and right, or A and D if you're using a WASD. But Rapha's using a combination of AD and also just forward while either of them, and then also strafe on top in order to optimize how his crosshair is basically preparing for the next angle. So he's kind of turning something which has a fundamentally fairly basic movement, and he's mixing it up into an art in order to optimize everything.
It's incredible when you think about the tactical edge he gives himself in terms of the rocket warfare, though. Nosfa finally actually gets a pick.
Very nicely done. We had that missed mid-air from Rapha. You go for a tough shot, and normally isn't one to do things like that. He's got a turret that will be helping him a little. Is he going to try and get back on? He is! He's going to try and race Rapha to it, and that is going to be 2 for 2. Looks like Rapha believed that he'd given up on that item, and it was not the case. He hears the turret going, he's like, okay, I know that I can at least safely, for a moment, get myself onto this item.
Oh, the damage being transferred across. Rapha has to try and beat his way past the turret, which he will remove from the equation, firing off the warning rails as well, straight into the lightning gun, as he doesn't actually have a good angle to play with, but he is getting the damage across somehow. He's going to find the frag as well. We got him so low. Nosfa got the Mega, but Rapha had the rail.
I was honestly surprised Nosfa even got himself onto the Mega Health because he was so early for it. He does do it, but I mean, amazing execution from Rapha with the rail pull out at the end.
Spam straight in. Rapha with a lightning gun, trying to end the fun really there for Nosfa already, as it does go 2-4 now, continuing to add on towards sleep. That actually might be another one as well. He got him so low. Nosfa, you got to be down and out there.
There's a light armor spawning in a second, but the perfect rocket as he gets into the lightning gun room. That's going to make it 5-2. Finds it, clips him with a rocket as he drops down. The heavy is taken. It almost sinks out of the map, but I think Nosfa gets that ledge grab. Have to watch out a little bit because that turret does present a couple of issues, and Nosfa is playing with a really dangerous angle at the moment. He's going to get himself over to the rockets, up the stairs. One good shot, but it's still not enough, and the resources are coming right back in for Rapha, so it's as if nothing ever happened. The only difference is that score's just getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, he's just adding to these kills. Second by second, minute after minute, all he does is frag harder.
Little damage there taken by Rapha. Nosfa needs, I mean, slowing the game down, I don't even know if that's the right way of putting it. He's so early for this mega health. Oh, the perfect rail. You can see there the rail on the floor, that's the weapon that Nosfa had out and is trying to retaliate with, but he's just not as quick as Rapha.
Yeah. Few people are. He's incredibly fast when it comes down to absolutely annihilating. And he's also going to get a really calculated juggle up there with the air rocket as well to then finish things off. Rapha 9-2 now versus Nosfa at this point.
Movement's really good. Really, really good from Rapha. Nosfa, slight stack advantage is going to come out. The rail does hit, but we have now the mega health up. Nosfa needs more than this, though. He's going to sink in, get himself a light armor, but he's trapped in the cubby hole, and he's going to eat a big rocket. 10-2. Rapha styling at the moment. Trying to lock down the chances immediately. We've got the pummel that tries to come out. Nosfa denies himself, denies the heavy, but I mean, Rapha's still going for it.
5 minutes in, Rapha already a tremendously large lead. Can he add anything else to this? Fires off the warning shots, tagging them up to at least make him supple.
I think he might have hit a turret then, actually. I don't know. It looks like maybe he did hit him. If so, that's crazy. Heavy's up in a moment. Nosfa's going to be a little late on it. There's going to be a turret that goes out. Nosfa's missing the shots that he needs, however. Oh, what?
Wow, okay.
That was so much damage that suddenly came out. Finds him off the spawn again. He's going to lock down another. I mean, okay, this is good, but you need even more. One rail.
Near misses. He's left on 12 HP. Nosfa and Rapha both incredibly low. It's about who gets the next shot off. And it will be Nosfa this time around to land a sickeningly good rail shot.
He has to give up the heavy is the problem. Turret down on the bottom. This is a problem because Rapha's now picking up all these weapons. Nosfa has to try and defend against this. I mean, he kind of has to get a position for Mega, but he more has to be able to punish him. Well, one rail, dangerous. Drop down.
Ooh. Well, here goes the fight once again.
Oh,
Nosfa with a tag. If he can get the follow-up connection here, that could actually be the frag converted into. It's a bit of a spam between them both as they're all very paranoid about who is actually going to be able to get the advantage off the back of this now. Turret goes back out. He did get the pre-fire off as he expected Rapha to come around through the rear door, firing off the warning to at least zone him out. But it's not a kill, and that's what's important at this point.
He's got himself the mega health. He can now actually attack it, but he's got no rails left. He's looking for it. You get that horrible click that you never want to hear, and he gets railed back through the portal. He's so low on ammunition on rockets and rail. This is just not good at all. One rocket's going to be used. It's going to miss the mark, and Rapha's just going to finish the job in LG room. 12-5.
This is crazy, just how much he is actually exhaling ahead here and get himself into such a power play position. The rocket juggle's going to be coming through as well. Looks to set himself up with a follow-up rail as the spam is coming in. The lightning gun will also start to deal a bit of damage. Rapha, he definitely has more HP, but Nosfa, he has that increased armor to play with as well. He's sat on 50 at the minute, and he actually comes back through with another kill onto Nosfa. 13-5 right now.
Yeah, this is a decent lead. Nosfa trying to do some crazy things. But it looks like he cannot stop the truck of damage that is being dealt by Rapha. Rapha staring down the barrel of 8 points. And I think that's kind of overall expectations. I think the question was like, how close can Nosfa bring it? And you know, he can withstand the pressure from Rapha for a period, but then after that sort of halfway mark, it's you know, he struggles to keep up. But I don't think he needs to tweak too many things for it maybe to become something different. It's just, you know, got to keep on grinding that work. Lovely rail angle he finds early on.
It seems like he's in a good position, at least. I mean, in terms of the aim and everything that's been coming through, he's definitely looked effective. It's just so hard when you're up against someone as powerful as Rapha is. The pre-fire was close, but it isn't exactly going to land, and it does make it a bit more awkward now. Spots him out, so he knows exactly where he's going. Nosfa attempting to go for the early reposition.
Well, some of that's going to hit. Rapha wants to keep aggressing somewhat. Going to move in. Turret's been a bit of an issue. One thing that's been really good this game has been Nosfa's turret placement. I think he's had some really optimal angles where he's been able to get damage and kind of get the most amount of annoyance onto Rapha. But you know, that's not the whole story, right? There's so much more you've got to do well.
Yeah, there's so many extra little nuances that are added on top. Rapha, though, he wants this one to be a 14-7. And he will get just that. 10 seconds remain. Surely he can't make it 15-7, although he will definitely be on the hunt for him as he loops around the map. If he spots him out here, maybe he can get a final killing blow to walk away with. No, instead it will be a Rapha 3-0 victory, as Nosfa couldn't quite muster it up.
Yeah, beautifully done from Rapha. He had such a fast start, it kind of didn't even let Nosfa kind of get his bearings on the map at all. The amazing things I've seen from Nosfa in the past on this map have usually been with Ranger, and he hasn't really had that available for him.